Hey traders, in this video I'm going to talk to you about why it's so important that you leave your ego out of the window and you trying to be right with the market, and then you also and how to flow along with the market so you know what's really going on right now. Let's get straight into it. Guys, do not place trade based on what you see in this video. Trading is risky, can cause substantial financial loss, and this is just past performance doesn't equal future performance. This is not financial advice, it is educational only. Alright guys, first thing in the description, learn the 7 major steps of becoming a long-term successful trader. Now, let's get straight into it right now. I had a comment on one of my YouTube videos just recently, and the comment was, John, how come you're, 1 month you're bullish and the next month you're bearish and so on and so forth. Here's the thing about me, okay? Here's the thing about my trading as well too, is, firstly, actually forget my trading. Here's why it's so important to understand what the market is doing right now as we speak, and why it's so important to continue to read what the market is telling us. So many people, actually, I just got off the phone to someone that says, the market's manipulated. All these algorithms are trading the markets. I can't understand the charts at all. And I said to him, that is just crap. No, I didn't. I said it in a much nicer way, but I said the market is always telling us what's really going on. Now, think about this for a minute. You can never pick the top. You can never pick the bottom. You never know when the exact top is going to be in, and you can never predict when the exact bottom's going to be in. Make sense? But you can have a really good chance of getting the 80%, right? Now, if you try to pick the top, you're going to be right 1 time out of 50. If you try to pick that 80%, you're probably going to be right 8 times out of 10. Makes sense? Now, what I mean by that little bit is when the market changes, you change with it. So let's go back here for a minute, okay? And now I'm looking at right now. What am I looking at? I'm actually looking at the transports. This is just an example of a chart, but I'm looking at the transports right now. And I know this really sounds really, really simple, but flow with the market. Okay, flow with the market. It's so important to flow with what the market is telling you, and then just go over there. So right now, as I see, right now, we're looking at the weekly chart here, okay, and we're looking at the bigger picture here. Use this on the daily chart, whatever. But what do we have here? We have what? We have a low, a higher low, a higher low, pretty much a slight higher low, runs back up, comes back down, significant higher low, comes back down, and this was the significant high low. The market ran up, then the market continued up from there. Now, look at this here, right? Let me share this with you here. So, what happened here, right? What happened here on this chart here? We had what? The market ran up, made a higher low, made a high, came down what? Made a lower low and a lower high. So who's in control right now? The sellers, right? The overall sellers are lowering their prices, low, lower, high. But this is where it's so important that you are not so. It's so important, as Bruce Lee says, be fluid like water, right? You need to flow with the market. Just because the market right now is very bearish overall, and the market is stepping down or stepping up or whatever, it doesn't mean that's not going to change, right? And so it's so important to throw that ego out the window, so you can continue reading the market. Because look what happened here, right? We came down what? We made a higher low. It broke back up and now broke above previous highs and now headed back up. So we went from an uptrend to a downtrend to an uptrend. That's so important to understand so you can flow along with the market, right? Flow with the market. Don't try and say, well, I'm bearish and I'm bearish forever and the market's going to... Right? No. A good, successful trader flows with the market. If the market says if the buyers are going to start to come back in, the market says it's going to go up, then you go with the buyers, right? So let's continue on here, and let's actually go over to what the market is telling us right now, right? Because this is absolutely crucial. What is the market telling us right now? Look at this here. Market ran up, made a high. This was the low. Then it made a higher low, made a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. What's this? Higher low. Actually made a lower high there, didn't it? But did it make a lower low? No, it didn't. Now remember, for a downtrend, what do we need? We need a lower low and a lower high. Then the market rounds up here and creates what? It creates a high. And now what is this down here? This is now what? The very first lower low. in an uptrend, the market needs to be making higher highs, but the most important part is a higher low. Therefore, the buyers are raising their prices, raising it up. When they don't, this is a trend change warning in the market, and that's where we need to start really looking at this, saying, okay, if the market now when the market breaks down, creates a lower low, what is that telling us? The sellers are likely to come in control, right? Again, it's so important that you never know what's going to happen, and you don't need to know what's going to happen to do well out of the markets. Go check out that last video that I did. You'll be able to see what I mean there. And so right now, all we need, we need a lower high, then a breaking of previous low. And now what do we have? We have a complete trend change. Bullish, this here, bullish trend, bearish trend, bullish trend. And now this could be the next bearish trend, right? Flow with the market, flow with the market, flow with the market, flow with the market. Let me share with you a stock here. Let's just go back to, this is Google here. Let me share with you an example here with what the market, and again, this is all about being successful in the market is not being so rude to saying, I'm bullish this market, or being successful in the market is never about getting one trade right. Right? I was talking to a guy just recently about that as well too. It's like, no, trading successfully is about trading your plan, and over a series of trades, you have a win-loss ratio, etc., right? So let's just have a look at Google here for the last 12 months, and let me share with you what I see here. So what do we see here? We have what? We have a low, we have a high. What is this? This is a higher low, this is a higher high, this is a higher low. So who's in control right now? The buyers. Then the market runs up, makes a higher high, then it comes down, makes a higher low, then it comes down and makes a what? A lower high. And as you're watching, it's like, oh, something's changed. And then it comes down and makes a what? Makes a lower low. Oh, something is changing, right? Remember, this is you're reading the market. Then the market runs up, creates a lower high, breaking of the previous low. Who's in control? Sellers. So don't try and fight the market. Don't try and buy the market here when the market is now changing. Flow with the market. And now you can see the sellers are really kicking in right now. So as you can see, right, before this whole thing dropped here with Google, where was the first warning? Right here with this lower high. Then it dropped down below this low to create this lower low. So if you're trying to buy Google right now, why? Then it comes up, makes another lower high, and then it drops down. And then now we're seeing this big down move through here. Make sense? So this is so important that throw your ego at the window, throw that sort of stuff. Trading the market is not about making money on one trade, okay? Because when the most successful traders on the planet, what happens? They have no idea what's going to happen. You don't need to know what's going to happen in order for you to do well in the market. You just got to have one plan, and that one plan has a win-loss ratio. And if you take 20 of the same plan, not 10 different plans, but the same plan, which means the same pattern again and again and again, that's what it comes. That's what it takes for you to be a good trader. If you look at your last 10 trades and they look completely different to each other, that's where you need to start. You need to start where, okay, I'm looking for one certain pattern and every single one of my trades must look almost identical to each other. That's where you need to start in order to be successful. Why? Because it's about probabilities in the markets. How does probability come out? Does a probability come out in one trade? No. Probabilities come out in a basket of trades. And you never know which one's going to be win-loss. Okay, so, and also when it comes down to reading the market is just about just flowing along with what the market's telling us. If the market's making higher lows and higher highs right now, then that's what's happening. But you need to flow with the market. As soon as it starts to break down or break up or something's changing, sideways, up or down, then it's your job to flow with that. And this something simple like this, just okay, read what the market is telling you, trade what you see, not what you hope for. After being mentored by 4 different 7-figure traders, I've realized they all have some things in common that actually help them do really well in the markets. So I'm actually putting on a free training where I'm going to walk you through the 7 simple but powerful universal laws to becoming a consistent profitable trader while achieving a very high success rate without spending 13 years trying to figure it all out. Plus, I'm going to walk you through the absolute details of my number one trading system that I trade every single day. The very first link in the description, click on that and you'll be able to go check it all out and be able to go see this free training. And I'm going to walk you through every single detail of these 7 universal laws so you too can start to have the odds on your side. So go do that right now and I'll see you on the next page.